Hi, my name is Dilip Kumar. Here I'm going to demonstrate the need of data science. What is data science and how to become a data scientist? That means what are the important skills required, and what is big data, and what are the different types of data analytics methods. And I'm going to take one case study, HR analytics. So you might have heard about autonomous cars. So it's really going to be very interesting if it is possible. So actually, this is possible because of data science only. So if we adapt data science and machine learning, then machine can make the decisions by its own, like slowing down the car, stopping by itself, and speeding up. So the specific machine learning technique of which is going to be applied over here is reinforcement learning. So there is a study which says that self-driving cars will root out more than 2 million deaths. Which are the accidents which are caused by the human beings. So the humans know even after training, we can make mistakes, but the machines are not like that. If we once train a machine properly, then it serves us. So there is a lot of research and testing going on. We hope it will come into practice very soon. And if we take one more application like airlines, so whenever we travel through airlines, so we frequently hear this announcement that we are extremely sorry to inform you that your flight has been delayed by 2 hours due to some bad weather conditions. And finally, they say, regret the inconvenience caused. So, what are the important reasons for this? Couple of reasons are due to the lack of data, they have uh, improper route planning, incorrect decisions in selection of equipments. So, due to this, the flights are delayed or also cancelled at the last moment. So if we adapt data science, then we can resolve these issues. We can make route planning properly. We can build a predictive analytical model which will foresee the flight delays. And the airline industry frequently change the fare. In this case, so if we have some machine learning model which can predict the fares, so then it is going to be fruitful. And then when the company and when the airline is going to offer some benefits to the important customers, so they can find out the high value customers, and the offers should be given to the high value customers. And dealing with the deciding what which class of planes to be purchased when they are going for purchasing the flights. So in this case, data science plays an important role. And one more application is if you take some logistic companies like FedEx, so they have been already started using data science for their operational efficiency. Important activities includes discovering the best route to ship the product, the best suitable time to deliver the product, and the best mode of transport. So here we took three applications, and the main use of data science over here is better decision making. When you have set of options, so what is the right option for us? Whether you should go with option A or option B, and we can build a predictive analytical model which will foresee the future activities, that means which will tell us what will happen next. And pattern discovery, we can extract the hidden information from the data. Today our data is very complex, so extracting the important information from the data is very important. And then what is data science? So data science is the area of study which involves extracting the knowledge from the data that you have. So in this case, we need to translate a problem into some project, and then after getting the results, then convert your results into practical solutions. This actually requires deep understanding of the analytical skills and also the business domain. The people who are involved in all these activities are called as data scientists. So as per Rachel, she is the chief data scientist at News Corporation, author of the famous book Doing Data Science. She has defined some basic characteristics like oh no, you must be having curiosity, you must think good, and ask set of questions, getting answer for all this set of questions. Importantly, dealing with unstructured situations and finding the structure from the data. Then how to become a data scientist? So data science is fastest growing field. The size of the data was 130 billion gigabytes in 1995. As per International Data Corporation, this the studies have predicted that the data will swell to 40 trillion gigabytes by 2020. So in this case, there is a huge shortage of people who are having some deep analytical skills. The number of jobs are open and getting double every year, and also the data is also getting double every year. So as per the importance of the data science, the Harvard Business Review has said that data science is the sexiest job in the 21st century. Then what is the global search? The global search is not for data scientists who are having some statistical background or some computer science background. The global search is for well-rounded individuals who possess some subject matter expertise and experience in software programming and analyticals, and then of course exceptional communication skills are required. So in order to become a proficient data scientist, one must master these six essential skills. He must be having the programming knowledge in R and Python, and if he has programming knowledge in other programming languages like Java and Scala, it is going to be advantage. And then the need of statistics is very important to explore the data, to understand the past data. So in machine learning, what happens is we are having a data that we say a training data. So if you have a training data on that, you can apply some machine learning algorithm. Then we are going to build a model, and that model serves us to predict the future events. So the role of statistics is in understanding the data. So there are two types of statistical methods. One is descriptive statistics, and another one is inferential statistics. And then the third important skill is big data tools and technologies. So Apache Hadoop is the first solution for big data, which provides the solution for data storage and distributed computing. And later on, some new technologies came like Apache Spark, Hive, and Hibase for data management. And the fourth important skill is data visualization. So we need to communicate our results efficiently in different types of graphs. So in this case, we can use some specially designed tools like Tableau, SAS, and we can also use R and Python, which are open source for data visualization. And machine learning is very, very important. Without machine learning, there is no data analytics. So there are different kinds of machine learning algorithms. So we need to apply those algorithms on the data in order to build a model. And domain expertise is very important. So you should be having no knowledge in particular domains. I mean, understanding the requirements of the customers in order to formulate a problem and make the solution for the problem. So there is a generic process to be followed. So this is the generic process: identifying the challenge, determining, collecting, and cleaning the data sets. So once you clean the data, I mean, once you have a clean data, ready data, then you can apply the algorithm over it, and then you can build a machine learning model. And then this helps us in extracting the important patterns from the data. Finally, we can communicate the results through different types of visualization graphs. Today the problem is the big data. So we are expecting the world to be smarter, and then cities to be smarter, nation to be smarter. So, and we are today connected with IoT devices, Internet of Things. So huge amount of data is generated, so we call it as big data. This big data is characterized by five V's. These are the five V's. Volume means large size of data. So as per the studies, if the data size is 1 petabyte, then we can say it's a big data. In addition to this, the big data is no variety. I mean that different kinds of data like structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. And big data is generated with high speed, and also we should process it with high speed, and also communicate the results with the same speed. Big data has a value, so you can extract the important information from this. And big data has veracity, big data has quality. In other terms, we can define big data as the data sets the size of which is beyond the ability of typical RDBMS, relational database management tools, in terms of capturing, storing, managing, and analyzing the data. So from where this data is being generated, so there are different set of sources, not only from business to business transactions, or not only from networking, means internet, cellular networks, IoT type of devices produces the data. And scientific research, now today we are being launching satellites. So the satellite generate huge amount of image data. So we need to capture those data, and then we need to process, we need to understand the images. So not only these three domains, so today big data is everywhere. In every domain we can have a big data, and we can build smarter applications to understand the data. And we can have some big database applications in different fields, like enterprise applications, IoT based applications, healthcare applications, scientific research of applications, to have smarter analytics. So almost all the dominating companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, etc., have developed big data projects in order to understand the big data. So the US organizations DARPA um, has now invested heavily in big data research. I mean, in storing, capturing, processing the big data. Apache Hadoop is the first solution which helps us in storing and processing the big data. It has provided the components like HDFS, Hadoop Distributed Management System, in storing the big data, I mean large files, and processing this big data in a distributed manner. And then what are the different types of data analytics methods? So data science today comprises everything about the data, like capturing, storing, cleaning, pre-processing, and analysis. So data analytics means which involves just automating the insights from the data. So data science is nothing but which comprises everything about the data. Data analytics is simply when you have a data, so you can automate the insights from the data, so that you can have or you can make clever decisions from the data. There are four types of big data methods, big data analytics methods. The first one is prescriptive analytics, so which reveals what to do. And then predictive analytics means what will happen next. Diagnostic means why it is happening. Descriptive analytics means what is happening now. So based on today, no, we need to have answer the questions like what happened, why it had happened, what will happen next, and what is happening now. So today the problems are very complex, so we need to answer all these questions, and then we can make clever decisions. So here now we can take one case study of how this big data analytics is helpful in HR analytics. So, as per the study conducted by MIT and IBM's, which have showed that the companies, those who implemented the predictive analytics in their HR department, have achieved very positive results within their business. Here, these are the numbers: 8% increase in their sales, 24% increase in the operating income, 58% increase in the number of sales per employee. So the main areas where the HR analytics play key role is these: in recruiting the analytics, performance analytics, talent analytics, capability analytics, and employee churn analytics and retention. So not only the HR analytics, no big data is no big data. We can have a smarter applications in order to extract the knowledge from the big data. So these are the some fields. For example, what is the example of prescriptive analytics? So airlines industrial use of revenue management, or airline industries use of past purchasing data, use of portfolio models in finance, or use of the uh, price and markdown models. So here the correct answer is A, B, C, and D. So this is one more question. You can just go through. You can just answer these questions. Now here the objective is not to determine whether the employee is to be promoted or not. So we have open data when we have been given with two files of training and testing. So we can use pandas libraries to import this data. And this is the header part of the training data. So these are the columns: employee ID, department, region, education, gender, recruitment channel, number of trainings conducted to employee, age of the employee, etc. So finally, this is our target variable is promoted. So this is a binary classification problem. uh, we can determine whether the employee is to be promoted or not. 0 means not promoted, 1 means promoted. So this is the header part of the testing data. And shape of the training data, we have 54,808 rows and 14 features columns. And then shape of the testing data, one column less, and this is the descriptive statistics of the data. So as per the descriptive statistics, now we can know these measures like count, mean, median, mean, standard deviation, minimum value, maximum, 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile. So as per these statistics, number of trainings conducted, maximum 10 and minimum is 1. Average the age average age of the employee is 34. Maximum age is 60, like this. So this is the descriptive statistics of the training data, and here we have the descriptive statistics of the testing data. And later on we can check for the missing values. So this data has missing values in two columns: education, these many missing values are there, and then previous year rating, we have missing values. Similarly, in the testing data also we have the um, missing values in the same columns, and we can run this info function on the data frame, and we can note it down the data types of these features. So we have float 64-bit, one feature is there, integer 64-bit, 8 features, and object type 5 are there. Then checking the value count for the target variable is promoted. So most of the employees are not promoted here. 0 means not promoted, 50,140, and promoted are very less, 4,668. And for education feature, we are checking the value count. So these are the unique values for this feature: bachelor's, master's, and above, below secondary. These are the numbers. So this feature has missing values, so I can impute with the mode, that is bachelor's. So here I'm doing that. And then the another column, previous year rating, has skewness, negative skew. So the better to impute it with the median instead of imputing with the mean. And checking the missing values again after imputation. So we have no missing values in the training as well as testing. And then we can apply label encoder to convert our data into the numeric type. And then I'm dropping these employee ID and region. So employee ID is not that much important because it has too many unique values, and then region is also dropped. This also has too many unique values. So checking the header part of the data again. So all these columns have been converted. So we just have the numeric data, and then these are my final of columns, and taking the correlation between the target variable with other set of features. And here you can see the correlation values. This awards one has correlation 0.19, KPIs made greater than 80%. This has larger value 0.22, and you can note some other positive values here, this one. So we can plot a heat map for this. So this is the heat map, so that we can make a note of the correlation values. And in X, I'm storing all the relevant features, and Y is the target variable, splitting this data into four parts: X train, X test, Y train, Y test. So the splitting size is 10 90. That means testing size is 10, and training size is 90%. Random state is also applied. And first I'm going to build a model using the random forest classifier. So I have imported the library. Then these are the parameters tuning, and then model is built here, and then accuracy of the model is 93.54% over the X test. But we need to submit the results with the actual testing data given. We have the testing for data frame. So by using that, we can submit the results. So these are the submitted results, which are stored in submission random forest CSV. And this is the header part of the submission. So this employee ID 8724 is not promoted. So this testing size should be matched with the submission. Both should have same shape. And then value count for this submitted, how many employees no promoted as per the model, as per this random forest model. So more or not promoted or 350 from the testing data. Then also applied one more algorithm, gradient boosting classifier, with these many decision trees and estimators. And with this model, the accuracy is quite less, that is 89.87 compared to random forest. Then so also the results have been submitted. And then gradient boosting model, so gradient boosting classifier has been applied, and then the score of this model is 99.63, so this is better model. So the results are submitted with this. And if you see the content of the results, so these are the contents. So submission file, we have the two columns, employee ID and then promoted or not. Okay, employee ID and promoted or not. So first employee is not promoted. You can also see some values which are no employees which are pretty promoted. For example, this one, the prediction value is 1, means promoted. So that's it. uh, I try to demonstrate what is the need for data science, how to become a data scientist, and what are the important skills required, what are the different types of data analytics methods. So if you have any queries, you can reach out through my email.